There we go. Gotta fix a little something something here and there. No big deal though. We're back at it. How's everyone doing? It's been a little while. I have been troubleshooting our campaign, which decided to break. So I have now been running into more and more of the unlocked DLC story campaigns that effectively crash the game on launch. So you go through, you can pick the campaign or the contract, you can get to the screen where you're getting ready to load the map. Doesn't matter if you wait an extra 30 seconds, if you do it while it's still loading, you could give it an extra 5 minutes. It just crashes. So, I have decided that rather than try to work around and deal with the crashes, try to figure out what's going on there, I said, you know what? We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to start a brand new career. Career's a little bit open-ended, gives us a little bit more flexibility, and since we're starting from the bottom, now we're here. We get to start from the bottom. We get to start from Cantina missions being unlocked at the very beginning, all the mods that we've added in over time to essentially progress the game, which is probably why things broke. You know, all those things to take into consideration. You know, they maybe broke the game? Who knows? I don't know. But we're going to start with a brand new career. So, as we go through this process, I'm just finishing up our last little bits of promo. And yeah, that should do it. We are live. Yee! Angel of Iron. Let's heckin' go. Yeah, man, so yeah, we get to start a brand new career. Now, one of those things that kind of pops up is, you know, when you're playing the campaign, you don't have a faction that you're starting with or that you're aligned with. You kind of just get thrown into a Davion sector, and the idea is that you kind of progress through the map at your own pace, sort of collecting faction as you go. And this gives us the opportunity to start at any one of the factions and pick kind of our starting mechs, getting some money, and, you know, kind of keeping things rocking and rolling. So one of the things that I wanted to do with tonight's stream is just really kind of dive into what it is that we're going to be doing and setting up the premise for this particular run through. So for those of you that are catching this post and you happen to be watching a VOD, this VOD series is going to be starting a fresh new VOD series. So all of my old VODs that were up, I'm going to sort of retire out. That whole playlist is going to run through. This essentially is going to be the intro to a whole new playlist. Now, what I'm going to start with is by going through each one of the starting houses, and then kind of based on perception of what we have, I'm going to make a decision. So I've started looking at these, but I figured, you know what, why go do a ton of research and try to be in depth with it when I can just do that with y'all and hopefully keep things entertaining, get that engagement going. So, thoughts and opinions on first house. So the first house we have is House Davion. So this kicks things off year 3015. It's going to be very similar to how the campaign starts. So similar location. I don't remember if it's exactly the same area, but it's in the same sector in general, because you start the campaign, give or take, somewhere over here-ish, and then you migrate west, basically, is the Great Migration when you start the campaign. This starts us off with 3 million in Haynesville. Instead of our normal Centurion to kick things off, we start with an Enforcer. We have a Spider, and then 2 Locusts that will accompany us. So, not to say that there's anything wrong with these mechs. Having come from a playthrough where we were dealing with much bigger mechs, that of course makes a big deal, right? That's a much different environment to work with. So a little bit different of a concept of what to start with. And I'm not opposed So I like the idea that this is originally French English nobility on Terra, which is basically Earth, and as they did, the galaxy expansion, they kind of kept that, and that's kind of their background is in that the leaders of the House Davion are nobility from Earth. And I kind of like that. It keeps them, as you see in the last line there, while their self-appointed position as champions of freedom and democracy is rooted in their long history of valor, their sense of righteousness has made them no strangers to conflict, which is basically exactly how French and English nobles can be described. So we got that. Next is going to be House Corrida. So House Corrida, when we were doing our campaign, we immediately were faced a lot of our missions were against House Corrida, and we immediately were just kind of against them. And I don't necessarily have an issue with their house, but the thing I do have an issue with is that I haven't really liked any of their mechs. So starting out in House Corrida, I'm going to end up having some issues with mech sourcing and what I'm familiar and used to playing with. So, not sure. We're going to be starting with 3 million again in Idle Wind, also in the year 3015. So, gives us kind of a similar footprint. Instead of starting in the east, we're starting in the north end, and we'd probably work our way south. Next, we have House Lao. So, again, this is one of those, like, weird scenarios where House Lao is a underdog in the galaxy here. As you can see, they have just a little slice of the galaxy, and what ends up happening is that eventually they end up splitting, and their territory ends up kind of getting gobbled up and mangled over the years. So, not to say anything's wrong, and just real quick, with House Corrida we get a Jenner, a Panther, a Spider, and a Locust. And then House Corrida gets a Cicada, Firestarter, Javelin, and a Locust. So looking at this, Firestarter's not too bad. It's got tons of jump jets, flamers, machine gun, medium lasers, and ooh, PPC variant. Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. Alright, so let's move to House Merrick. So, House Corrida is more of like, I think, more of a Japanese-inspired faction, and then House Lao, I think, is more along the lines of like China. So they have the contradictory station. Now, House Merrick, Merrick is Austro-Hungarian nobility, so this is sort of like Eastern European nobility. So similar to the French English nobles in House Davion, House Merrick kind of comes from that nobility, and this is a little bit more accepting. The melting pot of Terran cultures from North America, Europe, and Asia. So this is kind of like the catch-all. Everyone follows here. The big thing that they stress is independence, but in their independence they are not unified. So it gives you a slightly different perspective on things. Let's see, we're going to be starting with 3 million in Fagerholm. Year is 3015. And we're going to start with a Assassin, a Javelin, lots of jump jets, LRM, SRM, medium lasers, SDR 5V. Okay, so we got the Spider with medium lasers and lots of jump jets, and then a Flea, which I don't know that I ever saw really in any of my playthrough in the campaign. So this might be an interesting house to kind of go with. Then we've got House Steiner. So, 3 million starts in Urjala. Let's see, 3015, we start with a Griffin. Wow, strong starting point. 2 commandos, SRM, medium laser, large laser, SRM, 2 SRMs, and a medium laser, and then a Locust. So this looks kind of interesting, and I'll be honest, one of the things that kind of was really bad about the campaign is that it takes so long to get into Steiner and Merrick territory, following kind of the natural progression of things, that by the time you get there, you're already out of seeing any of their beginning mechs. So, what an entrance with a Griffin. A 55-ton, hold on. So that's a 40-ton, that's a 40-ton, 35-ton, and then a 50-ton. So the 2 strongest kind of out the door for your primary mech are going to be the Griffin and House Davion with the Enforcer. So that's kind of interesting. It's really interesting to see them drop what effectively is going to be a transitioning into from a light into a medium mech right off the bat. Like, what a good, strong start. Um, I'm kind of leaning towards House Steiner. And House Steiner's background is German nobility. So looking at that as kind of the, um, strong economic drive, efficiency is king, that kind of thing. Um, Part of me wants to do Steiner, and so we might just do that. I've had really good luck fighting them in my campaign and getting good mechs to start with, so I think I'm going to have good, solid choices when it comes to mechs. And then the last one, and you'll notice that this jumps us up to the year 3035, is the Free Razzlehog Republic. And so if memory serves, this kind of is a home to the Scandinavian settlers. So this is more of like the Scandinavian Viking type area. And 700 years of kind of subjugation, the region still firmly and proudly hung with their desire for independence, rejecting the Kuriton attempts of cultural domination. The Razzlehogs finally broke free and declared their independence in the 3030s. That's, the upstart, the young faction, as it were. This might be an interesting one. So we start with 3 million in Stanzak. And what we start with mech-wise is a Phoenix Hawk, Panther, Commando, and a Locust. So not a bad array of mechs right off the bat. Starting in 3035 makes us miss a lot of the kind of the lead up to a lot of the storyline quests. So I worry that if we start with this, we might miss out on stuff. So I'm kind of nixing Razzlehog right off the bat. I don't know if I want to start down here, and I feel like this is going to be a really difficult, challenging faction. Mostly because you're not going to get a lot of support. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a steep uphill battle to get going. So that leaves us with Davion, House Karita, House Merrick, House Steiner. Now, Goblin, I'm kind of leaning towards Steiner too, but part of me is thinking, okay, thought process, because I like to eliminate first and try to reduce it down. So we basically were House Davion for the entire campaign. So if we knock out House Davion, we've knocked out House Lao, we take out the free Razzlehog, so that's 1, 2, 3 houses out of the 6. I'd further say that the one faction I probably don't want to start with is House Karita, at least not on this playthrough. I just spent a lot of time fighting against them, and so I'm probably going to take that out. I'm leaning towards between Merrick and Steiner. So, Angel of Iron, Goblin, anyone else who's out there, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? If you had to choose between Merrick and Steiner, Goblin, I think you're going to say Steiner. I'm pretty sure. But throwing it out there. And what we may end up doing is run this campaign or this career mode until we run out of money, we die, whatever the case may be, and then we'll start a new one and we'll flip-flop to the other faction. So I got 2 votes for Steiner. We're going Steiner. That's a done deal. Plus, I really want to play with this Griffin. This looks good. Okay, so we'll start with that. So, we are going to confirm that we're going to start a career. It's an open-ended sandbox. That's perfectly fine. I do not want to import any data. So, we're going to start fresh and clean. Fresh and clean. New career. Nothing new.
In 2108, humanity began colonizing the stars. Their reach would eventually span a vast region of space known as the Inner Sphere. During its golden age, under the governance of the Star League, the Inner Sphere experienced unprecedented peace, prosperity, and technological advancement. But with a great rise comes a great fall. Beset by greed and mistrust, humanity splintered. The Star League crumbled. Technological advancement slowed. The great houses, each vying for supremacy, turned on one another, engaging in a series of conflicts known as the Succession Wars. Amidst this chaos, Mercenaries became the proxy forces for the Great Houses. Numerous battlefields sprung up across the Inner Sphere, dominated by hulking war machines known as Battlemechs.
Battlemechs.
The year is now 3015, and these steel behemoths have become the tools of the mercenaries' trade. It's a lucrative time, yet one beset with perils of all kinds. Only the most skilled and brave among them will rise to become legend.
Legendary. What a killer intro. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was really impressive. Okay, so career mode is open-ended, mercenary-focused experience. You're free to travel, explore the inner sphere as you please, running your mercenary company as you see fit. Conflict zones, industrial hubs, quests from the Nyx Cavaliers companion are all accessible and have been tuned to reflect your chosen starting location. Additional career mode content also awaits you, such as new conflict zones, biomes, mechs, weapons, equipment, and unique quests. Good luck. So, it's those unique quests that broke my campaign. So, unfortunately, you know, things broke. So hopefully they will work just fine for this brand new. Alright, so what we're going to do for our mercenary company. Let's see. I always struggle with the logos. So in our campaign we went with this because this was really in line with what Mal would have wanted for the Malcontents. So... oh, wow. That's kind of a nice. Okay. 19's not too bad. And I would probably call myself something like the Blood Moon Ravens or something like that. Go with 19? Okay. 19's top pick right now. Don't love the key. That just looks silly. World Eaters. I mean, I could call my mercenary company Unicron. Or wait, no. What's the Marvel version? It's Galactus, the World Eater, I think. Galactus, yeah. I mean, I could do something silly like that. If I was doing the Rosalhog, this is definitely what I would do, and I would do something Viking-inspired. I'd have to do a little bit of legwork in advance to figure out a good name. I do kind of like the idea of the Warthog, but it just doesn't... I just don't really see it. This one also kind of calls out to me. I do like this one. I might use this one if we do a Merrick run. Yeah, I'm going to go with 19. And I don't want House Steiner as the name. Blood Moon Ravens. Confirmed. Boom. I think we're good with this. Let's do it. Okay. So this is weird because I haven't, like, when we did the career, we didn't have just jump right in. You know, there was initial missions that you had to go to because you went through the tutorial, and then it was the storyline. So let's see what's going on. Colonel Richard Markson. Hey kid, I heard about your old man biting the big one. Tough break. He was one of the good ones. Aw, sad panda. Brianna reached out and said you were stepping up and taking over for old Nikolai. Good on you. Wish you all the best. Anyway, wanted to reach out and chat. Kid, old Nick knew better than most that the Inner Sphere can be a harsh place for us smaller merc outfits, but there's a lot of need for our services outside what those Comstar stooges over at the Mercenary Review Board will put into one of their contracts. That kind of makes sense. Not everyone can afford to charter a certified MRB back contract, and not every merc outfit is fishing around regiments worth of Battlemechs like they're the next Wolves Dragoons. There's a lot of need out there on all sides, but if you're savvy enough to know what to look for, You can find additional work if you wanted to take it on. I mean, that sounds like a mercenary career to me. Thing is, these places don't just let anyone in. You need to have some rep for yourself built up to show that you can get the job done. And with you and Rihanna starting over, any rep that Nick's Cavaliers might have had is now gone. I can help you get yourself into that loop. You'll need to prove to the powers that be that your new outfit still has what it takes to get the job done, even with old Nick no longer around. So definitely kind of piecing together what the story was in the campaign to get us started. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? That's not a bad thing at all. Alright, so let's take a look at the operations real quick. So I need to hit Rep 4. That's our first goal. Let's take a look at pilots. I don't need that. Oof, man, having just had like level 50 plus dudes, seeing these low numbers is crazy. Alright, so let's review our pilot roster though. What do we currently have? So I am the commander, and what I may do is I may get a... I think you have to do like a save state hack to change your name, but I might just do that. And this is where I might come into... now that I'm not doing the campaign and I'm not so worried per se about the save, now that, especially since the campaign's broke, I may use the campaign to try and see what I can find. I found a couple of tools that are basically save state editors where you can change the name of pilots and some of their stats and stuff. So what I may do is essentially like finagle it and save state edit, and then get folks in as named pilots into the situation. And one of the things we may be doing, depending on schedules, is we may be inviting somebody who may or may not be viewing to run some multiplayer. So this first one, we're just kind of getting things kicked off, so not a big deal, but some of the later, once we get kind of established and we get some decent mechs that don't suck, then we're going to start looking at doing some multiplayer, inviting y'all to come on board and run a couple of maps. So we'll have that for down the road. But we got Lieutenant Connor Murphy, let's see, 9 of 23, not terrible. We've got Lieutenant Greta Weber, 9 of 23, and Rebecca McCleary, 9 of 23. So they all look like they have, give or take, the same. They're all just kind of not great stats, though. So we're going to definitely want to eventually upgrade these as we go through. And, you know, right now we're not really looking like the pick of the litter out of the bunch here. So, you know, that is what it is. Let's take a look at our Battlemechs. Alright, first thing we're going to do is let's take a look at our weapon groups. So, weapon groups right now. So, Group 1 is going to be a large laser. Group 2 is medium lasers. Group 3 is going to be our LRM-5s. And then I always like making both fists available to me via the additional, because I tend to panic and end up missing the button click. So let's take a look at the Commando 1B. Let's take a look at the loadout. Just the large laser, medium laser. Okay, so and an SRM-2. We've got the 2D, SRM-4, SRM-6, and a medium laser. Ooh, and the Locust. So machine gun, and a medium laser. This is probably going to be our weakest. Yeah, 8 damage. Let's see, what are you rocking? 8. You got 49 firepower. Yeah, I need to get that Locust gone. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Loadout 39, not so bad. And what am I rocking? 66. Yeah, with our Locust here at an 8, need to definitely pump up the numbers there. Those are rookie numbers. Let's take a look. Man, I would love to be able to do this, but I just can't afford it. Not yet. Not yet. All right, let's take a look at the star map. Okay, so we should still have the mouse over. Yes. Okay. So this is... Okay, let's just click on one of these. Recommended for Rep 1 and 2. What's over here? 3 to 5. Okay. So, what about anything further? We haven't explored enough. Okay, so this is basically the starting zone for us, this area over here. So let's take a look at the first one. So we're going to be dropping 145 tons. We've got a raid contract and a demolition. Are these all 145? Yeah, they're all 145. Save myself having to fly around. I can just do this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and head to Hinckley. We've got a demo contract and a raid contract, so we'll just knock something out to get us going. Yes. I feel like my mods didn't load, because that shouldn't be, or maybe it is right. Man, it's, you know, I'm always questioning things that I'm looking at. No, they're definitely loading because we didn't have the load screen. All right, so let's hit the contracts. And actually, before we get to the contracts, did we see anything with a cantina? Not yet. We might have to just do a little bit of offline running around, see where the cantina missions are going to start. Contracts. Let's start with this one. Counterattack House Steiner, keeping our rep up. Let's see. So counterattack 145 tons. Let's see. I mean, I guess we'll do it. Get some damage coverage. That's going to probably be more than enough for this. Want to get... Oh my god, that's right. We're only plus 2 points. Yeah, so we're going to do that. And one of the things you'll notice, so it is 5 points per pip now instead of 3. 3 is the default. So one of the things that I have done is one of the mods is specifically to up that percentage or that number of salvage points you get, just because it's such a difficult start. We're at 125, so I could definitely use a replacement, so I'm hoping to kneecap something. Get us going. I'm just waiting for that preparing. Alright, readied up. Tres, dos, uno. Back to the minor leagues.
We have been hired to execute an objective raid. Our intel places these objectives at various locations in this area.
Oh.
Head towards the areas marked on the map to locate the individual targets. Watch for enemy patrols in the area. Nearly there, Commander. Approach the hidden object to pick it up.
Alright, give me big money, big money, big money. No whammies. What do we get? PPC right off the bat? Woo! Feeling spoiled already. Man, and these are fast. I'm doing 81, so I'm so used to like a fast mech being 64.8 that this is like a whole new ball game. Let's go ahead and launch. What is behind me?
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Uh-oh.
Target acquired.
This is where I could go for some SRMs right now, but... Oh my god! That was great. Just go ahead and run through the building. It's just easier this way.
Target neutralized. Scrap that one.
Cool down on the missiles there, buddy. Alright, so we're just gonna zigzag back over. My cubicle! Yeah, somebody's office building just went toast. Alright, so we're gonna have an ad here rolling up here. And one of the things that I have been contemplating is trying to figure out how I can produce content for maybe the YouTubes without any ad breaks and stuff, so might be doing eventually a slightly different run. Oh, what do we got? Little J. Edgar action. I hear a helo or something.
Target acquired.
There it is.
Target destroyed. New target urban mech.
I'm gonna go ham on these missiles. Thank God his aim is trash. I literally just fired that over the commando. There we go.
Target acquired.
The sad thing is if I had the cantina missions, I could like be using some of these things to
Target
get credit for the kills and earn some extra money from the cantina. Dude, just run through it. Just run through it.
Hostile transport ship coming in.
acquired.
I'm gonna take the high ground and climb the hill. Oh,
Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
land. Ah. There we go.
Target destroyed.
Man, there's so many little turret stations out here.
New target fired.
We'll get him. Once you've found the targeted asset, move up to it, and we'll begin the recovery procedure.
Ooh, somebody got oh, here we go. Bonus loot.
Always good to restock on ammo.
Oh, lame. Ah, I missed the punch.
Target acquired.
One down.
Pow! Alright, I gotta sneak in from the south side of this point because I don't want to activate the other location just yet. I want to try and get this one done so I'm not fighting two groups at once. Oh yeah, I have no respect for any of this. This is basically the soundtrack I listen to in my head is disrespect your surroundings.
Target acquired.
Oh, hello. Oh, we'll just conveniently step back.
We're on it, boss.
Cycle, cycle. Just taking it. Oh, this is not the way I wanted this to go.
Eliminated.
Target destroyed.
All right, now let's go ham on this thing. When in doubt, just smash your face into it.
New target commander.
Focusing the shared target. Good work, Commander. That's one less target.
Wow, he's fast. Can I get up? No, come on. Let me get up the hill. Nope. Lame. Lame. And that's how we do.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
There we go, there we go. One building left, one building left.
Target destroyed. That was a great showing, Commander. Our benefactor will be pleased with our success. Now get back to the dropship ASAP.
And no bonus pay if we stick around, so we're out. Yes! Robot Jox was an amazing movie. It definitely fed the love for robot stuff. What is this? This is MechWarrior 5.
Our employers will be pleased.
We just started a brand new career. The campaign we had running broke, and so we are running a brand new, fresh start of a Merrick career. Look at that, brand new. All right, not too bad. Total payout for just a little over, smidge over 400. Got that PPC from our. Oh man, that just hurts. We're just shy of picking up that fire starter, and that would have been a really nice mech to upgrade the Locust to. But instead, we're just gonna have to focus on picking up a bunch of stuff. Let's get rid of the jump jets. And let's pick up the SRM2s. I'm going to get rid of one each. And yeah, one. I feel like I'm going to have an opportunity to pick up a lot of machine guns later on, but I really need to get a jump start on my lasers. So I'm going to go with that, get us started. They're akin to more like Gundam than anything else. So these are not Zords. They're not really Avatar suits either. Gundam models would be like the equivalent of what these would be like in like an anime-inspired world. So these are our mechs down here. All of them have different designs, different loadouts, variations, and it's just going through. Whoa, man, I forgot how nice it is to see these huge chunks of green when we first start out for our skill ups. So doing really good start. All right, let's get some mechs into the repair bay. Like that, 2 days, back up and running. 2 days, yeah, that's totally fine. Alright, so let's do a little time jump. Let 2 days go by. And we need to make sure we're just keeping that positive influx of cash, because in every 90 days we're going to have 100,000+ that we're going to owe. So that's kind of the goal here. Alright, so we didn't pick up a new mech, which, you know, that's the breaks. Let me just take a look at the star map real quick. So we've got an assassination. That's Merrick's versus Independence. I don't really want to go that route. Where's some Steiner? Okay, that's got a Steiner versus a Independent. I might go that route. Yeah, I'm gonna jump up here. Why? I can't just go that distance. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. So, the way that starts is that you start with a lance of 4. In the campaign, you start with yourself, and then in your first mission, you end up having the possibility of essentially recruiting, saving a pilot, and then having him join your lance. So, on my lance is going to consist of 4 mechs, and then four essentially me and 3 other guys drop in the initial run through. So, man, I'm already taking a huge hit against the Independents. But that's going to be the break. That's going to be it. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to call it a night and leave it at that point. So the goal here is to try and get that rep bubble up 1, and then we can get an additional point. I'm going to take the hit, and I'm going to try and see if we can get some salvage. So I'm going to lose out on some money, but that's going to be it. And yeah, we'll see how we do. I really need to pick up another mech, though. A better mech than the Locust. So each one of those negotiation points, the ones that I normally start with is a point in damage coverage. So when I first pick what I'm going to choose, I'll get, essentially it's going to be like a couple 100,000, 400,000 worth of damage that they'll essentially reimburse me for any damage that I take. So I can kind of call it a wash. And then it basically means that the money I make, I'm not putting right back into repairs. Alright, so we got 1 defender up there. And we got to hold this for... let's see, what's the initial round? 7. Easy enough, easy enough.
Take defensive positions. Prepare for incoming hostiles.
Alright, we already got the first one. So it's basically just, I'm going to end up having some repair bills. Try not to blow up anything of theirs. This looks steep, but I might be able to get up this. Nope. Cannot. Okay. We'll just fall right behind him. Oof. Oof. Boom. Okay. Well, if he just came on that side, they're probably going to come on this side for the next round.
Additional contacts just cross the perimeter, Commander. Expect company soon.
Can I get up the hill? Nope. Alright, so I gotta stay... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, come on, come on.
Gotcha. Let's do this.
Oh, sad panda.
If you find the acquisition,
Oh,
just walk
hey, that
over
was
to
worth
the
it.
to pick it up.
Maybe it wasn't so bad I fell off that hill. Alright, give me good stuff, give me good stuff.
Payload acquired.
Flamer level 2. Alright. Not terrible.
My kill.
Acquired.
Engaging Lance focus.
And I can do remote commands. The sad thing is that... Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get much over there.
You must have really kicked over the beehive here, Commander. More hostiles inbound.
If they come back on this side, I'm going to be a little frustrated, because normally they toggle back and forth.
New target.
Firing on the commander's requested target.
Little Shadowhawk action. Ooh, you lost an arm, buddy. Boom!
Continuing to converge on your location. Stay frosty, Commander.
All right, we're going back to the defense. It says they basically spawned. Oh, yep, there we go.
New target.
Target shared, engaging.
All right, we can navigate this.
Target acquired.
Oh, that hurts.
New target. Locust. Target acquired.
All right, come on. God, I hate these little guys.
Nick has been dispatched.
Here we go. 7 to 7.
Congratulations, Commander. These people owe their lives to you.
Yes, they do. Oh, cool, and it's immediate exit. Oh my god, yeah, that's... I think the fleas are so small that once you're in a medium mech, you can actually step on them, and it does damage. It might even blow them up. Alright, so I could take a flea. It's technically better than the Locust in terms of the firepower, but not by much. And that's only because it has a lot more weapons. It's really fast, though, and I kind of like that. So I might take it. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Always got to grab those medium lasers. I'm going to go ahead and grab these. Let's see. Supercharger, sure, why not? Flamer. And medium rifle ammo. I didn't even think anyone had a medium rifle. But maybe they did. Let's see. I'll just go with the laser. Yeah. There we go. So, I took, what is that, 100,000 in damage. So, not great, because I'm going to take 108,000 in damage, and I only got paid out, you know, $250,000. So, I only made 100,000 on that. Doesn't put me a ton ahead. And I'm going to have a penalty that is going to basically make it more expensive. So, not a huge penalty, only, you know, about 10,000 or so, but definitely enough to make it not worthwhile. Yeah, it's so expensive I can't even fix this. Jeez. Jeez. But what I will do actually is, let's go ahead and cold storage that bad boy. I don't need it right this second. 20 tons versus 20 ton. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the flea. It's a little less lighter in the armor section, but it's about as fast, and it's got way better firepower. Yeah, so we'll mess with that a little bit later. All right, let's go ahead and call it there. So we've effectively started this brand new campaign. We're going to be picking this up with some of the contracts here. We're starting from scratch. Goal, of course, let's get through this and let's see if we can get to a point where we can get some of the storyline missions done and hopefully soon find... I've got to look it up. Maybe I need to be a certain rep before the Cantina missions pop up. But I would very much like to... Where is it? Operations. Start on these mechs. Visit cantinas to level up jobs and unlock rewards. And that's basically what I want to do. I want to start unlocking some of these things to get these improvements and get me going, because it was really tough looking for commandos when you're fighting, you know, heavy and assault mechs. So we'll go ahead and call it there. We'll do a new save here. New save. And yeah, we'll get things going. So with that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and put us on stream ending. Thank you so much for joining. While we weren't out for very long, we got us started. Goal is continue grinding through. So we should be back at it again on Tuesday and Thursday evenings this week, and then going forward, we might make a quick change to maybe like a Monday, Wednesday schedule. So I might be doing like a Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. But you know, we're gonna play it by ear. This week, I think I'm gonna try and do tomorrow as well. So we might even get 4 streams in this week. Who knows? Let's go crazy with it. So with that, folks, have a great rest of the night. As always, time is the most valuable currency in the world. Once you spend it, you never get it back. So the fact that you spend any time at all with me means the world to me. And so I really, really, really appreciate you. Don't forget, you know, it's not September anymore, but that doesn't mean you can't leverage those Amazon Prime free subs. Feel free, get rid of those ads, make it a little bit more convenient for you. With that, folks, thank you so much. Have a great night. Have a great week. And I'll see you later. Peace.